Authority Radio.
Hello, welcome. This is 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host, the Ballot Club member, or maybe say Ballot Club founder, Albert Cita.
Yes,
and on call, we have from sunny Orlando, Florida, Guillermo Cita, and we're joined by this week host of the Dos Leprechauns podcast, our good friend, correspondent, Notre Dame's probably number one biggest fan, Irish Jason Hendricks. How's it going, guys?
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
So, the big news out of the weekend was Bellator 180, hashtag Bellator NYC. Albert, can you get the timer ready for me?
I sure could.
That's where we're part of focus more, at least the first two rounds of the show on. Jason is calling in because he did order it on pay-per-view and has no regrets about it whatsoever.
Oh, God.
All right.
So let's get started round number one, Bellator 180. Bellator.
You know what was more exciting?
What's up?
Watching 21 Jump Street on FX over watching Bellator last night.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You're wrong.
Yeah, that's a good. Hey, the remake was a good movie, though. You gotta admit that.
Albert did also watch it as well. So, guys, let's go with the main event. From what I saw, because I didn't catch it myself, but it looked like almost like a double knockout between Fedor. Well, the co-main event was a double knockout almost between Fedor and Matt Mitrione. But it seemed that the first one to recover was the one who was going to win, and that ended up being Meathead. Jason, your thoughts on the reaction, kind of the bizarre end of that fight?
Yeah, it was a very strange ending. The whole card as a whole, it was. I tweeted this yesterday. I said that was a very strange card, but it was also very entertaining. I mean, you got a little bit of everything, but yeah, it was. It looked like Mitrione and Fedor both went in for an overhand right kind of deal. They both caught each other. They both got knocked out. It seemed like Mitrione came to his senses really quick, got up and just grounded and pounded Fedor until Big John, or I think it was Herb Dean came in and called the fight off. But man, Fedor was out with that shot. I don't think he even needed the insult to injury by Mitrione ground and pounding after that.
It's almost like if Fedor was younger, he probably would have covered not a little faster, right, Albert?
My whole thing is, I have never been a Fedor fan. Never have I ever cheered the last
God,
Emperor. Guillermo, hold on and let me finish my point. All right. He has never showed any talent. He always fights with like reckless abandonment, and I think he can get away with that when he was younger. When you can just swing, and if he catches the guy first, or if he's able to absorb some of those punches, of course he's going to end up winning. Whoever has the harder hit, and we can see now that he's an older fighter, that fighting style does not translate well anymore. And he might have made Matt Mitrione look good, but don't get it wrong, Matt Mitrione did not look good at all.
So is there a winner? Is Mitrione now the new face of the heavyweights in Bellator? Can Fedor be brought back, you guys? What do you think about this? Like the post. Go ahead.
I really hope Fedor doesn't come back, man. He's just a shell of his old self. I don't think he's had a quality win in 5-6 years, and to get beat like that by Matt Mitrione, I'm not, not taking away from Matt Mitrione, but is he really known for his power? I mean, is he really known for his power? I don't really think so. So you got knocked out cold by Matt freaking Mitrione. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Matt Mitrione is known for his knockout power, first of all. Second of all, Fedor almost knocked him out. It was a double knockout. It's just, obviously Matt Mitrione's punch came a little bit harder or faster than Fedor, but can you imagine if that one doesn't connect, Fedor wins knockout over Matt Mitrione. So you guys are discrediting Fedor a lot, especially in the heavyweight division. What other heavyweights can you guys name in Bellator?
Bobby Lashley.
Gotta keep Fedor.
Okay, that, Guillermo, so does Bellator and Scott Coker, do they rally the wagons around Mitrione and say, hey, this is our heavyweight, he's the best heavyweight, not in the UFC right now, we challenge him to, is this guy marketable for the division, or just now that division just like a sideshow like it is now, just bringing in Fedor and other guys?
Well, I don't think he's a sideshow, but I mean, like, he's a legitimate contender. I mean, I asked you, what other heavyweights can you name? Because
Bobby Lashley.
Besides
Czech Congo.
Jason's boy Roy Nelson, I think that's the fight you do is Roy Nelson versus Matt Mitrione. But other than that, you got to keep Fedor. You got to have names. You got to have names for Bobby Lashley. You got to have names for Czech Congo. You have those possible matchups.
Let's not forget that Roy Nelson does have a victory over Matt Mitrione. So let's not make it seem like he's not a contender in that weight class.
And at the same time, just so you guys know, Rampage Jackson's officially in the heavyweight division because he is not going to be able to cut to 205 because of it.
To cut weight.
Yeah, no. Well, he says supposedly he has some kind of disorder or something like that. That's
glandular problem.
Yeah, that he can't really cut to 205 on. So technically, he is still a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, there is history behind Rampage Jackson and Meathead, if you guys don't know, because Rampage Jackson was the coach on the heavyweights in the Ultimate Fighter. So there is a story there to be built. So what better way to make Matt Mitrione the face of the company against Rampage?
That's still Bellator. Remember when you guys were in UFC? Watch them fight here in Bellator.
Well, that was the whole Vanderlei Chael Sonnen build.
Yeah, I know. But like that's so Bellator. Remember these guys when they had beef in the UFC and they're on the reality show Ultimate Fighter? Well, come watch me here in the Bellator cage. So we'll say I think I tend to agree with Jason that Fedor probably shouldn't fight anymore, and Meathead I don't think his stock rise anymore in this, especially because we've seen what he did in the UFC. It took him he lost to Ben Rothwell and Travis Brownie before he left. So, I think it was more of a contract negotiation, but still, he wasn't lining up there anyway. So, we'll see. That's it for round number 1. We come in about 5 minutes just for the Fedor alone. So, we're come back with round number 2. Jason, please stick around. We're talking about Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva and the rest of the card. So, don't go anywhere. But before we do that, I want to talk about one of our great sponsors over at 5 Rounds Clothing. 5 Rounds Clothing offers a great collection of apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of mixed martial arts. They are constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company possible in the MMA world. Check out the line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at 5rounds.net. That's 5rounds.net. They're also on Twitter, Instagram, at 5roundswear, and on Instagram at 5rounds_. 5rounds.net. Get it on. Round 2 coming up. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 2. We're still joined by Jason Hendricks of the Dos Leprechauns podcast. We're talking about Bellator 180, Bellator NYC. So let's go to the main event. Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva. A 3-round decision victory for the American gangster, Chael Sonnen. Jason, from what he did, kind of just wrestled him around. Grappling clinic from Chael Sonnen?
Oh, absolutely. Chael did exactly what he needed to do to win. You're in there MMA. It's not just boxing. Wanderlei thought he was getting into a boxing match. He should have gone and tried to fight one of the boxers like Conor McGregor is doing, because he knew Chael's going to wrestle him. Why not focus your entire camp on trying to stop the takedown? The dumb idiot just sat there and got beat up for freaking 15 minutes. And that's what he gets.
So,
and then he wants to act like little punk ass at the end and try to push somebody in the cage. Man,
he did that? Oh, wow.
And I'm not going to lie, it was a little girl push, too.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of like...
It was a total little girl push, man. If he really wanted to if he had any balls, he would have tried to knock him out. But no, he's scared. He's a scared little pansy.
Okay, so Albert, I asked this about Fedor last round. Wanderlei Silva, is there anything left for him in there, marketable-wise? Can he maybe, if he's on his feet, can he maybe perform?
Honestly, the only fight that's out there for him is maybe a Dan Henderson fight, just because I know that Dan Henderson will not wrestle him like Chael Sonnen did. And I think people will actually be really hyped to see Dan Henderson versus Wanderlei Silva one more time before both of them can compete. So I think there's still a couple of interesting fights, but is he as marketable as before? I doubt it.
No.
I don't think there's much more than 2 other opponents out there for him.
Hey, Germaine, what about that rumor? What about that rumor between Iceman Chuck Liddell coming back because he needs a payday? According to Michael Bisping, he lost his sweet cushion job from the UFC, $1 million a year to do nothing. Now he may need to go fight again. Do you think Wanderlei versus Iceman 2 or 3 could happen in Bellator?
What a waste of my time! What a waste of a pay-per-view to watch this. Because, dude, what implications is there? Am I really gonna watch this to determine a number 1 contender? No, it's just like a little fantasy league, just like Jason likes. He likes fantasy leagues.
Exactly, it's
actual
cool.
Competitive.
Fantasy leagues are cool though, Guillermo. You gotta admit that.
It's like professional wrestling. It's cool.
Hey, number one contender for the Legends Championship.
There you go. I love it.
Well,
book it, Jason.
My thing is, what a waste, because to me, no matter what, Bill Davis versus Ryan Bader was a boring fight. I agree 100% that was a boring fight.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a title fight over in the one main eventing is Wanderlei Silva versus Chael Sonnen, and I was like, what a waste. You put Bill Davis versus Ryan Bader, you make the titles mean something. Why do I care about 2 freaking 40-plus old guys that when doesn't really do anything?
Bill Davis and Ryan Bader doesn't sell pay-per-view buys like Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva, the ultimate grudge match. That's why.
To play devil's advocate, Guillermo, the Chael Sonnen fight, Wanderlei Silva fight was more entertaining than the Ryan Bader and Phil Davis fight.
Just the hype.
So just to show your point,
it doesn't matter.
the 40-year-olds outperformed the early 30-year-olds.
What matters more, a grudge match over Twitter, over a pushy match, over the Ultimate Fighter, or the actual belt for your damn company? It's like put your priority.
Scott Croker has clearly defined that line as we want the legends in our league.
We want the freaks.
Yeah, we want the freaks. We want the circus here, and our belts will just be supplemental.
But what do you say to that, Guillermo? When the entertaining fight was the 40-year-olds and Phil Davis and Ryan Bader was a snore fest? Like, what kind of argument can you really make when the main event was more entertaining than the main event in the prelims?
And yet you're the one watching and paying for Mayweather to fight every damn pay-per-view. So
I watch all things. Mayweather always gets my money.
For the sweet science.
It's so strategic, so it has to be boring because they're not going to put it all on the line compared to a grudge match.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing a beautiful defensive performance like I do with Mayweather. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like seeing that shoulder tucked in and his beautiful defense, and I'll gladly pay $50 to see that. But the Phil Davis, Ryan Bader, they're scared to pull the trigger. There's hardly if they were just doing a wrestling match, I would have been more entertaining. But they didn't want to pull the trigger. They're very they didn't want to go out there and risk anything. So no, I would never pay $50 for that.
If you make a mistake, you lose the title. That's the implication. Compared to Wanderlei Silva versus Chael Sonnen, there is no, like, if you lost, there was nothing to lose.
Well, hopefully Bellator gives Guillermo what they want. We'll get Chael Sonnen versus Ryan Bader, and Chael Sonnen.
So,
there you go, Jason. There you go.
Yeah. Also, Phil Davis defeated Ryan Bader. Douglas Lima won a decision over a local fighter here in SoCal, Lorenz Larkin.
Bull crap decision, man. Lorenz Larkin landed way more strikes. Yeah. He was way more aggressive. That was a crap decision.
And then,
Jason has an
so was the Phil Davis Ryan Bader, because I felt Phil Davis won that.
And then Michael Chandler a doctor's stoppage to Brett Primus. So, hey, Jason, can you stick around for one more round?
Of course.
Yeah, I want to talk about coming up next. I want to talk about what I find strange to me, because I wasn't here last week. We didn't have a show last week about the Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather announcement. But also now I'm seeing it's so weird to me that Conor McGregor is a butt of a lot of jokes on social media now, and it's just weird to me that he's like, you know, the tagline, and like there's memes about him, about his boxing skills, and like for MMA fans it's kind of weird because it's McGregor's the one being, you know, the bully. Now he's the one getting made fun of. So I want to explore that a little bit when we come back from round number 3. But before we do that, let's talk about Mobilitas mobility tools, the best mobility tools on the planet. Durable, portable, manufacturer release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. Visit yourjointshouldn'thurt.com, and also they're also at Instagram at Mobilitas. Like them on Facebook, and visit youtube.com/yourjointshouldn'thurt. Round 3 coming up. Let's see how much people make fun of Conor McGregor coming up now. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 3. So since last week's announcement that Floyd Mayweather will take on Conor McGregor in August for epic boxing match, there's been the leaked footage of Conor McGregor's sparring session and getting tagged, and the guy said
about a year ago. Get it right, Alex.
Okay, let me say it. But the guy said, hey, he said if I'm hitting him, Mayweather's gonna kill him. There's that one meme of him trying to hit the little balls with his fist, and he missed every single one of them, and just people making fun of him left and right in the boxing community, anyways.
Yeah, all those boxing community. I just got one thing to say to them. If you go, yeah, sure. Did the guy land on Conor? Yeah. But what you saw was Conor landed on him as well.
Yeah.
With that said, the whole argument here is we want Conor to land a couple of punches on Mayweather to put him away, and he was able to land on a professional boxer, regardless if the professional boxer did land on Conor McGregor. That's not the point. Mayweather hasn't knocked somebody out in several years. That's the irritating part. So what if Mayweather touches him? So what he's going to take him to 12 rounds? All you need is Conor McGregor to land a few of them, which he was able to do with the professional boxer.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, do you think maybe as we get closer to the fight, do you think that maybe McGregor's camp will release some footage of him, or do you think there can't be so in secret that, hey, we really can't see how much he's improved until the night of the fight?
No, I don't think they should release anything. Let it be the best kept secret in the history of combat sports when he goes in there and knocks that piece of shit out in the first round. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm calling it here and now. Connor's going to knock him out. And that's not just me thinking of my Irish blood. I really think he's going to knock him out.
Just to show you the smartness of Conor McGregor, he's probably the best troller ever. If you do follow him on social media,
great point.
Instead of showing more boxing clips, you know what he's showing? He's showing himself hitting cards being thrown at him and going back to the pool noodle thing and whatever. So he's trolling Mayweather. If you're smart enough to see what he's doing, it's intelligent work. He's not going to show you boxing. He's going to show you the other stuff to frustrate you. Like, he's almost fueling the hate of the boxing community.
Hey, Guillermo, so you're a coach. You coach athletics. Is that good for McGregor just to show the fundamentals here? Like, hey, I'm doing the basic training here. I'm mastering this stuff here as a tease, for his fans and for maybe his haters a little bit.
Well, you can talk to any sports athlete, even at a high school level. You can talk to Jason about football. You can talk about Albert about female tennis. But it all starts with the basics.
Hey, I coach. Hey, I turned that team around.
As long as you master the basics, then you can go into more advanced training. And once you get the basics down, as long as you keep the fundamentals, then you can exceed above that. Now, what I like about Conor McGregor, and I think 5-round MMA is based on hope. And Conor McGregor is our one hope here. And I think the hope here is his obsession. This is what we're banking on. This guy has never been so obsessed in, being a perfectionist at his craft than Conor McGregor. This guy will literally die in the training ground just to be the best fighter in the planet. So this is what I'm basing my watching. He can master down the basics. He'll get into the advanced quicker than anybody you can ever imagine. This guy's obsessed with trying to be the best, and that's what I love about him.
Have you guys ever seen Rocky 4? Yeah, Apollo Creed versus Drago. That's what's about to happen, baby.
Well,
it's just so weird to me seeing all these memes come out with Conor McGregor as as a butt of the joke, when it's the other way around, where he's just slicing and dicing people in press conferences and stuff like that. And there's not enough fuel right now for Conor McGregor's fans to go back, and box, because he doesn't have anything to box him. He can't really do anything, So, what was your point, Albert?
I was just gonna say, if you Floyd Mayweather has actually released footage of him training.
Yeah.
You can see it on any social media. And just to let you know, I've followed Mayweather for a few years, and I do watch every single behind-the-scenes Showtime, even when he was with HBO, their version of the UFC embedded type style. I watch it all. And just to let you know, after seeing that footage, Mayweather looked very slow. He looked like a guy that was 40 years old. He did not look like the premier champion that you used to see before. And I'm not lying. I think he's going to get caught. He looks very slow to me, and he actually released training. Again, he could be trolling everybody too, and just showing, just little warm ups here and there. But he looked slow to me, and he looked like a 40-year-old man going to the gym.
And then, Alex, I got two last points.
Okay.
One of them, they released a little footage of Julio Cesar Chavez fighting Floyd Mayweather's uncle, and Julio Cesar Chavez actually wasn't doing too good in the very beginning, but what changed the course of that fight was a Superman punch, which is perfectly legal in boxing.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you can't lift both feet. One feet has to stay planted.
Well, if you watch the video of it, it was a little lunge, but it looks like a Superman punch. So that could serve to Conor McGregor's advantage, is that. And then the second thing, and I already lost my train of thought on the second thing, but that was one of the main points, is that Superman punch, that he can be used some of his MMA. Oh, I remember my last point. At the end of the day, Conor McGregor, he's stepping into the boxing world, and even if he loses, does Mayweather have the balls to get into the MMA world after this?
Nope.
No. That's it for round number 3. Hey, Jason, I want to thank you for calling in and giving your review on Bellator and your thoughts on Conor McGregor. Where can people get a hold of you and your awesome podcast, Dos Leprechauns, man?
Yeah, thanks, fellas. So you guys can find us at Dos Leprechauns on Twitter, also on YouTube, Dos Leprechauns. We're also on Facebook Live, Dos Leprechauns. We're redoing our studio so we can go live on YouTube as well soon. So our next show is the first Sunday in August. Got a big show lined up, and I appreciate you guys' support.
You also have is your GoFundMe still going on? Because it's kind of a cool thing. You're also not asking for your help for your podcast, but also special circumstances for Notre Dame fans, right?
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. So we have a GoFundMe going right now. It's twofold. One is to help improve the quality of the podcast, but also we're trying to help out those that might be in need. I think one thing we're going to try to do is there's some folks that live close to South Bend, Indiana, but have never been able to go to a game because of financial reasons. We'd love to be able to bless somebody with that opportunity. So, so we're trying to kind of keep it going and
kind of pay it forward a little bit. So, yeah, thank you guys for mentioning that, too.
Not a problem, man. As always, that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break, come back, enter the championship rounds. But before we do that, let's talk about Redemption Martial Arts. Redemption Martial Arts is a nonprofit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the bullying epidemic and providing people with accessible training and resources to help them combat bullying confrontations. The RMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you're interested in becoming a member of Team RMA or want more information, please visit redemptionmartialarts.com or follow them on all forms of social media. Championship rounds coming up next. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Time for enter the championship rounds. And it was kind of a slow news week last week for MMA, but the controversial now, one of the biggest ones was current UFC featherweight champion Germaine was stripped of her featherweight title for unwilling to defend her title against Chris Cyborg, and now Cyborg has been pegged to not a core main event, or be in the card anyways, UFC 214. That's the same card of John Jones versus Daniel Cormier.
What a cool poster, by the way.
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah, against current Invicta FC featherweight champion Megan Anderson for the vacant UFC women's featherweight title. So the UFC is basically, they're pulling a champion from another organization. They stripped their current champion, and they're giving Cyborg the title shot that I guess a lot of say she rightfully deserves. Albert, do you think this is a cool move, right move, stripping Germaine and getting the belt to where it kind of belongs, around Cyborg's waist eventually?
I actually like the move a lot. The only thing is I wish now that this would be the standard.
Good point.
And even my boy Conor McGregor, or even if it's my boy Cain Velasquez, I think they really need to stick to their guns, and this should be the norm.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with interim champions where, like, for some odd reason, in some crazy scenario, we have to make an interim instead of stripping. But if a fighter refuses to defend their belt, I think they should get a timeline. And guess what? If you don't accept the fight, you're still under contract, but you're no longer the champion. And I see nothing wrong with that because this is the fight business. Yeah. It's like saying, like, let's say you work at Marvel making comic books, and you said, you know what, I'm not trying to make a comic book this coming up month because I don't like the character that you guys gave me. But guess what, bro? That's what you do. You make comic books.
Yep.
So you get stripped of that art. You're no longer the guy that draws it. You're gonna be the guy that does the little freaking bubbles.
Yeah.
You know.
I get it. No, I get it.
All I'm saying is,
it's your job.
Yeah, it's your job. You should do it. I agree with that. As long as they continue, this is the norm, and this is something they set in stone. Going on from now.
Yeah. Guillermo, what do you think? Did the UFC do the right thing? Is this a precedent now?
Hell no. I'm totally opposite. Hell no, they didn't do the right thing. Why don't they strip everybody else? I don't care what Albert says. You can't just start an example out of a person.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
That's the kind of shady part too.
So you start with the person that has the least say in your organization instead of the one that has the most say. I mean, like, if you're gonna strip, start with Conor McGregor. Don't start with Dramedy just because she doesn't want to defend it against Cyborg. I mean, like, there might be legitimate reasons why she doesn't want to face Cyborg. I mean, like, Cyborg has been caught with illegal drugs in her system. We don't know where they want to have to fight, but I bet you anything, it's probably slated for Brazil. And then second of all, I mean, like, we saw this with Demetrius Johnson. Didn't Demetrius Johnson say, hey, you guys can't just throw whoever the hell you guys want into, like, a title shot against me? It's like, don't I have a say in this?
You think Brock Lesnar wants to face Samoa Joe, bro? Come on.
What?
You think Brock Lesnar wants to face Samoa Joe?
No one wants to face Samoa Joe.
That's pro wrestling, bro. This is actual.
It goes hand in hand, bro.
UFC's getting there.
MMA, but I feel for Dramedy. It's a bullying move from Dana White. If he's gonna do this, he should have stripped everybody all at once, not just drain Dramedy. I think it's a bully move, and it's just pointing out to her, and I find that disrespectful, and I find that wrong.
Look. The one thing that, again, like, I hate agreeing with Dana White, whatever, but the thing that Demetrius Johnson, the thing that Demetrius DJ has to get in his head, and the same thing with, I'm going to butcher her name, so I'm not even going to try it. Germaine, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so the point is, what they're not getting is that these divisions are still fairly new and still lack a fan base. And you need fan-based fights in order to establish these weight classes in these divisions, and for them to
that gives you the right to be a bully.
No, but then you want the division to go away. It's there's pretty much two roads here. Either you build up the division or you get rid of it. So would they rather just get rid of the whole division? That's what I'm trying to, like, people like you that keep saying, like, oh, they're just being bullied. Okay, then let's just do away with the divisions, because that's what's going to happen, because guess what? No one's paying attention to the women's featherweight division. No one's paying attention to the flyweight division. And the only way to make these divisions survive is to make these type of bouts. Sure, you end up looking like a bully, but, hey, this is the only option you got. Don't get me wrong, if John Cena is the only one that's moving the needle in the ratings, then guess what? You got to put John Cena out there. As much as bad as that,
it's right.
It's right. You got to put John Cena in the main card because he's the only one that's providing ratings. And what's the other option? That he just goes under. It's the same thing with these divisions. These divisions are going to go under if you don't make these matchups. So I don't understand what's another option than is to do that.
Here's my point, though. I mean, you have guys that are very popular that don't even speak that often. Look at a Cain Velasquez, for example, Albert. This guy does not say 2 words or more than a sentence whenever he does interviews. But why does he have such popularity? Is because this guy is the head of Metro PCS. He is the head. Why can't they do the same thing for Demetrius Johnson? The guy doesn't have to speak or say anything.
Well, that's on him. He's sponsored by Xbox. I don't understand why he don't go out there.
I haven't seen his Twitch, but he has a pretty popular Twitch account where you can watch him play video games. So
but come on now. 10,000 nerds don't equal up money, homie.
True.
But the thing is, just like WWE, is they pick and choose who they want to promote and who they want to make superstars.
Yes
Sometimes
and no.
It's just the promotion base, because I can give you a handful of guys that don't say 2 words, and yet you see them in every single commercial, and you're like, well, is it because they're good looks, or is it because Dana White likes them? And I'll give you an example, like Sage Northcutt. I mean, like, come on. This guy hasn't even proved it inside the ring, and yet he's getting a massive push by the UFC. If they put that same push towards Germaine Randamie, towards...
But how? When she did... Even look at her previous record. She's not known for being an active fighter. She fights maybe once a year. So that's what I'm trying to say. Promote what? What are you promoting? The girl, you can only do so much.
You put her in posters, you put her in commercials, people are going to know who she is.
Yeah, I mean...
And just to show you how completely wrong you are, Guillermo, BJ Penn has never come out in any commercial, and he is still considered one of the most popular fighters of all time.
You can debate that.
Well, we are going to debate that coming up around for the 5th and final round. We're talking about... so we're recording this show prior to UFC Fight Night, Chiesa versus Lee. So we're going to come back and preview that and see how wrong we are next week with our predictions. So let's go ahead and do that coming up next, 5th and final round coming up. All right, time for the 5th and final round. Before we do that, let's talk about FightBook MMA. FightBookMMA.com is the only place you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, and boxing to cover all the major sports. And promotions, UFC to the local ones. It's all there. They have a great podcast section as well. That's FightBookMMA.com. They're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Give them a follow and just bookmark FightBookMMA.com, not FiveRoundMMA, bookmark FiveRoundMMA.com. But anyways, so we're recording this show prior to the UFC Fight Night, Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Lee. So we're going to go ahead and preview, give our thoughts on it, maybe make some predictions and see how wrong we are next week. It'd be kind of fun. Because are we experts? No. We're fans. We're just fans capable of audio and internet.
Yep.
And that's what we have.
For all you podcast. Black belt BJJs and Muay Thai champions, guess what? I know how to turn on a mic and you don't, bro. Yep. And that's why we have a show and you don't.
4 years of a media degree to
It's called a degree. I mean, I have a black belt, but I got BA that says I can hook up some mics.
Exactly. So let's get this timer started. We good?
Oh, no, we're not good.
We're good.
So, Guillermo Hosita, who I give credit for scouting, not scouting, but getting Kevin Lee on as our very first guest ever on this podcast many years ago. We actually did a written up article before he made it to the UFC. I think he had a few professional bouts under his belt. And I remember when we first asked him, hey, do you think you're ready, for Bellator or for UFC? This is back then. He's like, honestly, I think I could jump Bellator and go straight to the UFC. And that was I think it was a year out before he made his UFC debut after that, right, guys? Or 1 or 2 years. And look at him now. Now he's main eventing. Guillermo, I mean, Kevin Lee, he gets it now. He's selling himself. This is from the summer press conference where everybody's dressed in suits. He was wearing a floral shirt. His chest hair was sticking out. He was wearing a bandana and glasses, stuck out like a sore thumb. And he actually made Michael Chiesa charge across the stage and run at him because he mentioned that his mom was going to be in the audience. So, Guillermo, talk about this Kevin Lee and the evolution that he actually gets it and promote himself and just the skills as a fighter, man.
Well, I think, first of all, let's start with the skill inside the ring. Did you guys watch the open workouts by any chance?
No, I did not.
I have not had time.
So, Kevin Lee was basically known for a wrestler, right? So let's talk about his skills first of all. His wrestling from the get-go was really, really good. Then what we saw evolution of was his boxing. Now, if you watch the open workout, he mentioned that, hey, everybody thinks I'm a wrestler and a boxer, and that's it. But now you're starting to see the full circle of his evolution of fighting, and he was talking about how he's practicing Muay Thai and different types of karate-based, martial arts. And so he was showing his effectiveness of his kicking. And I was blown away because, I mean, if you watch his first, couple fights, before he even got to the UFC, you could tell his wrestling was there, but, there needed to be more. So let's start. I'm impressed by how well skill level-wise Kevin Lee is. So he has not only the mouth to promote himself, but now he has the skill level to do the walking from the talking. So then now let's get into the talking. This guy, all he does is speak his mind or speak what he truly believes, and it's not. I don't think it's an act. It's just what he truly believes. He truly believes he's the best on the planet. He truly believes that this is my personality. This is how I want to dress. It speaks volume to who I am and what I listen to, and what I find interesting. And it makes it more relatable to everybody else. So I think that, and I know Albert's going to go, he gets it. He doesn't, what he gets is that he has to be himself. Don't act like, anything outside of the norm or whatever. You have to be super professional. He's just being himself. He's saying what he wants. He's saying what he really feels. And that's what makes the fans relate to him.
But and Albert, in being himself, he gets it, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to say, well, my opponent, it's going to be a hard fight. I'm prepared as best I can. I respect him, and it's going to be go out there and see who wins.
Yeah, my whole thing is, again, I know Guillermo hates it, but wrestling goes hand in hand.
Yeah. It's because, honestly, Guillermo, it's because you're a Mike Trout fan. That's why. Mike Trout's super great, but, man, has there ever cut a good interview at all?
Never.
But
that's what I'm trying to say. Stone Cold has always said it. The people that make it in as far as, good promos, whatever, because they always ask Stone Cold all the time, what made you so great in the mic and blah, 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 and, people like to reference, he's as good as Stone Cold. When Stone Cold said, no, it's not necessarily it's pretty much getting your personality, who you are, and then just turning it up to 11.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's all they have to do. As much as people like to say, oh, I want you to be more like Conor McGregor, what you're trying to say is I want you to be who you are, but I need you to crank it up to 11.
Yeah.
To say that Conor McGregor is always acting that ridiculous is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But is he true to himself? I'm pretty sure he's just kicking it up to 11 when the cameras turn on. And I think Kevin Lee finally, I don't think finally got it, but he is one of the smart guys that sees that. I got to crank this up to 11. DC's doing it. You got to crank it up to 11. They're not necessarily, and they don't come out as fake. Like that's what the whole thing I said about John Jones and DC.
Yeah, good point.
DC looks real because it looks like he's just cranking up his person up to 11 instead of trying to be somebody else. John Jones is clearly trying to be somebody else.
Yeah. Also, Johnny Hendricks is missed weight by 3 pounds.
By 3.
On
Wow.
the weigh-ins.
Wow.
So his weight was supposed to be 185. Now it's 180. Yeah, I know he can't even make middleweight. No word yet on. I think the fight with Tim Boetsch is still going on, but I haven't heard a quote from Dana White yet.
Here's the crazy part. I used to the last person I could think about that had such hard weight issues like this was Rumble Johnson, who ended up going from welterweight all the way to light heavyweight. But the difference was Rumble Johnson was a very big guy.
Yeah.
Johnny Hendricks isn't that tall or big guy, so I have no idea what he's gonna do. Imagine him in light heavyweight. Come on, the guy needs to fix his diet or I don't know. He might have to call it quits because this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, real quick, Guillermo.
If I'm in a fight, I cut Big Rig after this fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to. Is this BJ Penn's last fight if he wins? Guillermo.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
You're asking me? Hell yeah, this is his last fight.
Is this his last fight if he wins?
No, I think BJ Penn has 2 more in him. I tell you right now, if UFC won't give it to him, Bellator will.
Good point. So that's it for this week's show. I want to thank Jason Hendricks from Dose Leprechauns.
Let me rephrase my answer really quick.
Go ahead.
If BJ Penn wins, of course he's going to want to continue. But do I feel like this should be BJ Penn's last fight? Of course. Hell yeah, whether he wins or loses.
I tend to agree with both of you guys there on that one. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks to Jason Hendricks from the Dose Leprechauns podcast for calling in and giving his Bellator 180 review. Sound like another freak show.
Yeah, I think you can make a big 3 MMA league.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, right? He wants to buy T-Mobile Arena or something like that? What's he want to do?
What? I didn't hear that.
Well, I guess starting Monday, he's going to get retired NBA players.
Yeah, the big three.
Oh, yeah, Ice Cube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Ice Cube can make a Legends League for MMA.
Oh, there you go. That's it for this week's show. I want to thank everyone for listening. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIVERoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. Albert, what do you got?
Just want to thank everybody for listening.
Oh, yeah, Mean Gene, what is going on? We are the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.